The Whispering Shadows of Monticello. In the heart of Virginia, nestled among rolling hills and lush greenery, lies Monticello, the iconic home of Thomas Jefferson. As the sun sets behind the Blue Ridge Mountains, casting a golden hue over the landscape, the shadows of history begin to whisper secrets of a past long forgotten. This is a story of ambition, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of freedom that shaped the very foundation of America.
Thomas Jefferson was not just a founding father. He was a visionary, a man whose ideas about liberty and governance would echo through the ages. Born on April 13, 1743, Jefferson was steeped in the Enlightenment ideals of reason, science, and individual rights. His intellect was matched only by his insatiable curiosity and a desire to mold the future of a fledgling nation.
As a young man, Jefferson spent his days immersed in books, exploring everything from philosophy to agriculture. His love for knowledge led him to study law, and by the time he was in his 30s, he had become a prominent figure in Virginia's political landscape. However, it was his role in drafting the Declaration of Independence that would immortalize his name. In June of 1776, amidst the turmoil of revolution, Jefferson penned the words that would ignite a nation's dream. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
But the very ideals Jefferson championed were steeped in contradiction. While he advocated for freedom, he himself was a slave owner. Monticello, his grand estate, was built and maintained by the labor of enslaved individuals, raising profound questions about the morality of his beliefs. Among them was Sally Hemings, a woman of mixed heritage who would become an integral part of Jefferson's life. Their relationship, shrouded in secrecy and scandal, would echo through history, challenging the very notion of liberty Jefferson espoused.
As the Revolutionary War raged on, Jefferson's political career flourished. He served as the governor of Virginia and later as the nation's first Secretary of State under George Washington. Yet the ideals of the Revolution were not universally embraced. Tensions simmered between the North and South, and the newly formed nation faced the daunting task of uniting diverse interests under a common banner.
In 1789, Jefferson was appointed as the U.S. Minister to France. There, he marveled at the cultural and intellectual vibrancy of Paris, but he also witnessed the rising tide of the French Revolution. The fervor for liberty was intoxicating, yet it came at a cost. As the reign of terror unfolded, Jefferson's faith in democracy was put to the test. He returned to America, haunted by the shadows of revolution and the complexities of his own legacy.
Back at Monticello, Jefferson faced mounting challenges. The nation was divided, and the issue of slavery loomed larger than ever. In a series of contentious debates, he found himself at odds with fellow leaders, advocating for gradual emancipation while still holding on to his own enslaved workers. The dichotomy of his life became a source of inner turmoil as he grappled with the realities of freedom and the chains that bound so many. In the years that followed, Jefferson's influence continued to grow. He became the third president of the United States, championing the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, which effectively doubled the size of the nation. It was a monumental achievement, but it also opened the door to further conflict over slavery as new territories were added.
Amidst his political triumphs, the personal cost weighed heavily on Jefferson. His health began to decline, and the once vibrant Monticello became a place of reflection and regret. Haunted by the ghosts of his past, he sought solace in his writings, pouring his thoughts into letters that would reveal the complexity of his character. In one poignant letter, he penned, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever.
As the years passed, Jefferson's legacy became increasingly complicated. His death in 1826 marked the end of an era, but the questions he left behind continued to resonate. The nation he helped to forge grappled with its identity, struggling to reconcile the ideals of liberty with the reality of oppression. Monticello stood as a monument to Jefferson's achievements and contradictions. After his passing, the estate fell into disrepair, reflecting the decline of the man who once shaped its grandeur. Yet the whispers of history remained, echoing through the halls and gardens, reminding visitors of the complexities of freedom and the shadows that lingered in the light.
In the years that followed, Monticello underwent a transformation. Preservation efforts began, and the estate became a symbol of a broader conversation about America's past. The story of Jefferson and the enslaved individuals who lived and worked at Monticello was brought to light, challenging visitors to confront the uncomfortable truths of history. Today, Monticello stands not only as a tribute to Thomas Jefferson, but as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for justice and equality. As visitors walk the grounds, they are invited to engage with the stories of those who were often silenced, including Sally Hemings, whose legacy has emerged from the shadows into the light of recognition.
The whispers of Monticello continue to resonate, urging us to reflect on the complexities of our past and the responsibilities we bear in shaping the future. As we navigate the ever-evolving landscape of America, the lessons of Jefferson's life remind us that the pursuit of liberty is an ongoing journey, one that requires courage, introspection, and a commitment to justice for all.